So, test, test, test. There we go. We are all set.
Is it too late to ask a question?
Say it again.
Is it too late to ask a question?
No, it's not.
Because I have just 4 pieces here, but you want me to talk about my whole collection or just the
Whole
four?
collection. Yeah, so we're gonna get to, we're gonna talk about, well, we already laughed. Yeah, we're gonna talk about your entire collection, and then then you can go to this collection that we have here as well.
Okay.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Darren Lee Calhoun II. Today is August 26, 2023, and we are here for our Avery Artist Talk for the Avery Family Reunion 2023. And today we have the great artist Belinda Person, who has 4 pieces within our Avery Family Reunion exhibition. It's called, entitled Noir, a Study in Black Portraitures. And we are so excited to have our first artist talk with Belinda. So good morning.
Good morning,
Good
how are you?
All is well, all is well. So we're gonna conduct this interview as we do our normal oral histories. As you know, within the Avery, we are here to collect and preserve the histories and culture of African Americans in the Low Country and throughout the diaspora. It was no better way to start off with that mission, be it where when we start talking about your upbringing and where you're from. Looking at that diaspora, the Afro diaspora, African diaspora that we have throughout the world. So, Belinda, let's go ahead and start. Can you just tell us a little bit about where you're from, growing up, and where you're from growing up, and how you actually start becoming an artist?
Okay, well, again, thank you for having me. I'm just,
Okay.
after knowing a little bit more about the history of the building, I'm really happy to be part of this collection right now. So I'm originally from Colombia, South America. I'm from the capital, which is Bogota. My family is from Chocó, Chocó, which is the coast. So if anytime you go to Colombia, you will see that the main population of Afro descendants are going to be in the coast. So that's where my family is from. They grew up there, but when they decided to build the family, they moved to the city. And I grew up out in a city where is the capital again, and most of the population would be, I guess we call back then we call white, but well, we Hispanic, so there is a lot of mestizo culture and everything going. So they would consider themselves white, and my family, I would consider ourselves like we are Black. So we grew up in the capital being like the only ones. I guess there was a really small population of descendants in Bogota.
Mhm.
Like right now it's growing every day, and everything back home is getting more like blended. But when I was little, that's what I saw. When I went to this high school, I was like the only one there. It always affected me in some type of way. I don't know. I felt that I didn't belong. And then when I started growing and stuff like that, anytime that in December and stuff like that, I always go to the coast, which all my family is there. And because I was growing up in the city and then I went go back to the coast, I'll have like city accents or whatever. So when I went to the coast, I didn't feel that I didn't belong, but I still feel like there was like a difference in like the culture of how I was raised. I guess that being in the city, there was like, you seen a little cases of discrimination just for being Afro descendants. But as a little, I just never saw it as a problem. I just thought it was maybe it's just me because, oh, well, my skin color is different. So it's just something that is happening to me. Now, talking back with my family and everything, I realized that my brothers, they were experiencing some stuff like that, but we always kind of keep it to each other because like we didn't think it was a big deal. We thought maybe it's just us, that people just don't like us, but I never thought that it was something that it was happening to a lot of people.
So So did your family, like your parents, did they ground you in your blackness? And, yeah, you know, you said y'all were almost like the only ones there. Did they try to ground you in it?
Yes, they did. My dad always told me this story. My dad is a musician.
Hmm.
So I remember there was this play they were trying to do back home, and it was like Pocahontas. And probably I wanted to be Pocahontas, whatever. And I guess there was a little girl that said, "No, you can be Pocahontas because
Mm.
Pocahontas is not black."
Mm.
So I came back crying at home, like, "Oh my God, I can be Pocahontas." And my dad said, "Why? No, because they said I can be black. I was black, so Pocahontas wasn't, so I couldn't." And I remember my dad, after the issue, he went to the school and have like this song that he was singing by day. It was called this blackness. Well, in the Spanish, it's called this esta negrura mía, which means this blackness that I have.
Mm.
Which he said that he was proud of it. And I was really little. So he went to the school and he sang that song just to, I guess, to bring awareness of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But those are one of the different stories that I've been getting about growing up in Bogota as an Afro-descendant.
All right. And that's a good transition to talk about a little bit about your parents. Can you tell us, you said your father was a musician. Can you tell us a little bit about your maternal side, your mother's side, but then also your paternal side? Tell us your parents' name, but then also tell us a little bit about their history.
All right, my dad name is Hansel Camacho. He is a musician from the coast. He's a salsa singer.
Mm.
Like right now, if you go to Colombia, especially to Choco, people will know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up, I would say, slavery back home happened really different how it happens here. Back home, when when everything got abolished, like the slavery got abolished, because it didn't really happen. It stopped being mentioned. Or communities just got invisible. Like they kind of said us, okay, you guys are over there in the coast, and you do, and we're just gonna keep growing. So we just got invisible. And right now, if you go to the Choco, you will see that there is a lot of poor population around the Afro descendants communities. But I think that that's just like a scar that every Afro descendant community had from slavery. Like the development was a little bit slower because of how they teach us or how they show us how life should be for us.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're in this time right now, there is more people that's getting more conscious about what's going on. So maybe we're trying to work harder to develop our culture or different communities.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a process. So you can see that everything is evolving, but we're still having some situations between even each other because we still haven't get to that. We haven't been able to communicate all of us to having the same page of, okay, we can keep move forward, but we need to work together to
Right.
make this work. So going back to my father, yeah, he grew up over there in a really poor family, but I'm really proud of him because he overcome everything. He always have this idea on his brain of what he wanted to do, which he was like artist. He actually played soccer too, so he played soccer for a long time, and he was like he played professional for a couple of years, but then he decided to go for the music and acting.
Right.
So he built himself out of that. My mom, she is still like a really smart woman. She was able to go to school, high school, because of his good grades. She got a scholarship to go to the capital to study, and she was an economist. She is an economist. So right now, how things work or how their marriage work, my dad is the musician and my mom is the manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there was a lot of challenges that they went through. I was little when things were happening, so I couldn't catch everything. But now that I'm grown and looking back, I can see some of the different situations that have happened and they have made face, for being Afro descendants living in the city or to just to try pushing my dad career to build something out of it. So I'm really happy to have the family that I have. They always, to me and my brothers, they always teach us that whatever you want in your brain, like whatever you want for you in the future, if you commit to it, it's gonna happen. You just have to go for it. And they are really supportive to everything like that. They are my support system since day one for me, for my brothers, and basically they're just doing what they preach. If you want to do this, we're gonna help you. You're gonna support. put your energy towards it and just work forward, and it's gonna work out for you. And that's
Right.
what we're doing, and
Right.
that's why I'm over here fighting for my art, and
Ashe.
that's what I do.
Ashe. And how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I had two younger brothers,
Mhm.
and I have one older brother on my dad's side.
All right. So you're the only girl.
I'm the only girl.
All right. So you're the princess. So.
Yeah, we do a lot.
Right. 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 So you talked about the Afro descendants that you have there. How do you see it? How do you see the transformation of it from when you were younger to people embracing it now from where you're from?
I feel that there is a change.
Mhm.
Again, it's not like a really big one, but I feel that right now people are really embracing their culture. Like, for
Mhm.
example, something that I think it is really little, but to me means volumes. It's like the hair. The people that are really just stop using perms, just using their own natural hair, or maybe just being more proud about their culture. Like, our culture as Afro-descendant in Colombia, we are really musical people.
Mhm.
We like music. You go over there and if you listen to music, you're just gonna see people dancing, having a good time. Like, we're really embracing that. And I feel that it's little changes that are happening. There's still a lot of um I would say this communication, because there's a lot of greed out there at the
Mhm.
same time. And I feel that once everybody understands that it's like working together the way how we're gonna move forward, that's the day that I think changes, big changes are gonna happen. But right now, little by little, we're doing different events or things that help our community. And I think I'm moving forward
Mhm.
that way.
Mhm. And what type of events do they use to celebrate the Afro culture?
So, for example, 2 weeks ago, I was in Colombia. There is this awards called, um, well, there is this awards that they do every year for the community. So it's in Spanish is Premios Transformadores de la Región, which it means like awards for the people that making changes in the community. And I was rewarded for one of those for the event. That's why I was there like 2 weeks ago in Cali, Colombia. And they do it every year. They just give an award to every single person that is Afro-descendant and have been contributing for the growth of the community.
Mhm.
So it was a really nice event, and it's growing because this was why like the fifth version of it, and I know they're gonna keep doing it, and every time it's getting better and better, which I think is really good. Hopefully, it gets actually really big where people actually start recognizing all these Black figures that we have in Colombia, because coming here to United States, there is a whole different
Right.
Black history, a whole different Black figures that are really recognized back home too. But I feel that at the same time, we need to recognize the ones that we have from there,
Mhm.
because that's how we grow. So there is different stuff like that. There are new festivals that are happening in Cali too. There's one called Petronio, which is shows different events
Mhm.
and um, like musical groups or food or any anything that the community is creating. They have this festival where they have a space to show their product, to show their culture, to show their abilities and skills and stuff like that. I actually back in 2018, I was able to do my work over there, but then I had this show. It was called Reinas, and I was able to put it in the Petronio that was back in 2018, and it was a great experience. I wasn't able to assist, but I had the best family ever, so they were keeping on top, like everything, video calls and everything. So it was pretty good to be actually part of it.
Okay, that's great. Great. So, when did you actually graduate to come over to South Carolina?
So when I was younger, I was playing tennis. That was my goal in my brain. I was gonna be the next Serena Williams, and I was practicing every day, Sundays, from Monday to Sundays. In the weekend after high school, I would go to my training, and on the weekends I used to go and teach classes or play with. We call it sparring, where people just come and play against stuff like that. That's what I was doing. And then in the tennis community or whatever, there was this thing saying, "Hey, you can come to the United States and keep playing." The things back home don't work the same way here. Here you can play for the school, and the school will sponsor you like the stuff that you need to compete against all the schools. Back home, if you want to play a sport, you have to come out everything out of your pocket, because we don't have that culture about sports like that.
Mhm.
Oh, there is one, but it's soccer because soccer is the main
Soccer,
one.
soccer.
But
Yeah.
tennis is not it's a strong sport right now, but it's not as strong as soccer. So
Mhm.
um, when I heard about it, I was like, okay, let me see. So I started looking for schools. And then I met one of these, there was this person, this person is part of your family. We're not like blood related, but you just
Oh
grow
yeah.
up together, so we
That's
call them cousins.
yeah. That's a black
Right.
black tradition right there. Everybody a cousin.
Exactly. So she was in Benedict College.
Mm.
And she said, here and the doctor of international programs, her name was Dr. Jackson,
Mhm.
and she was from Colombia. And she said, hey, you have an option to come over here and play tennis.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's do it. And I did everything that I needed to do to go to Benedict College and play tennis. But they also told me, okay, you need to study something. And when I saw the curriculum, I was like, I don't like none of this stuff. The only thing I was like, I don't want to stress about school, so I'm gonna get something that I can just go through it. And I was like, okay, let me take art just because I used to draw and
Mhm.
stuff like that, but I never thought of something big.
Mhm.
I always like, when you have in the classroom when you got the new notebooks, you had the cover of the book. I was the one doing my covers. People
Right.
asked me to do their covers. I was like, okay, I do this for fun. So I was like, okay, I guess I can try to draw, we'll figure out, but I want to play tennis, so I was going to choose this by default.
Mhm.
And that's how I got to Benedict. I got to Benedict. I was kind of scared the first time that I was taking my classes because I'm seeing all these other people that actually have intentions to become artists. But I'm over here as like
Playing.
default, like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to play tennis. So, but at the same time, I don't know, anytime that I have an assignment, I was trying to do my best.
Mhm.
And then my assignments ended up being kind of good. I was like, okay, I've done something.
Mhm.
And then little by little, I started talking with the professors, and they were like, "You have something going on." I still didn't see it because I was just doing like little craft stuff that I thought it was craft. I remember I was once drawing with charcoal, and my professor was making us do this exercise. It was just on lines, and then he looked at my lines. He said, "Look at you," and I'm like, "I don't see anything.
Right.
This is on lines and charcoal." And say, so then I started like getting some interest in about it. And I think that it was on my junior year that I was like, okay, I think that I like this
Mhm.
and this is what I want to do. My
Mhm.
junior year, that's when I was doing charcoal, but then that's when I was introduced to paint, oil paint. So, and I started taking the classes and everything, and I was doing really good. So I was like, okay, I think that this is what I want to do now.
Mhm.
And I just find this new passion all of a sudden. And then that's it. I mean, that plane just went to a second time. Like, I was like, okay, let me just do art. This is what I
Right.
want to do now.
Right. So when you came to Benedict or coming into Benedict, did you know anything about the history of HBCUs and historically black colleges and universities?
Not really. I have an idea
Mhm.
about why black colleges were built, but I didn't really knew about it. Back home, we don't have that. We just have a school.
Mhm.
And if you're black and you get to go to school, that's good. But we didn't have that school like Afro descending building. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't. I was really excited just because I was like, okay, I'm going to a black school. I'm going to see a lot of people like me. So I was really excited at the beginning. But then I also got shocked when I got there and the same black people that I thought that we are like, we family, they were like, but you speak Spanish. Like, so, and I was like, what that means? Like, yeah, but like, if I don't speak, if you see me from far away, I'm one like you guys. But then when I speak, I'm not anymore.
Mhm.
I say, yeah, you're not black. So then I start like, I guess, learning a little bit more about it. And I was like, well, then I wasn't trying to teach people, but maybe just put it out there. Okay, look, I'm Afro descendant. The same way how you guys got over here with like the slavery and the boats, we got some over there. The only difference is the people that colonized us speak Spanish. That's why we speak in Spanish. And it was like a little journey. At the beginning, it kind of gave me, it was kind of upset, but then later on, I just started understanding it's just people, you just don't know. I mean, it's not their fault. They just don't know. It's not what they have been taught. So that's why. And then I started meeting people from different places. Like, well, when you are in college, you meet people from different parts of the country. My roommate was from Kenya.
Oh, nice.
So you just start having these conversations, and you see how similar we are in certain aspects, like
Mhm.
through the years, because you have in different cultures, there is certain things that change, but if you go to the root of music, like the type of music, the instruments and everything is basically almost the same things, drums,
Right.
I don't know how to call this in Spanish, marimbas.
Mhm.
There is like different instruments that are really for all culture, and then I start looking at the people and say, hey, you guys have the same.
Mhm.
We just don't know that we all the same, we
Right.
all together.
Right.
So that's how I got to United States, to South Carolina. And it was a great experience.
Mhm.
Those 5 years, those 4 years in Benedict was like great.
So Benedict truly, well, we see that it shaped your art career,
My career,
right? It
right?
shaped your art career, but then also culturally, it starts shaping you as well. And that's what when we start looking at the histories of HBCUs, that's what it's born for, shaping the culture and shaping the education of Black folk throughout everywhere.
Right.
Where we always say that when we think about the history of HBCUs, we were never segregated. Anybody could come to a HBCU.
Right.
Now the other schools, I mean, the one that was right down the street from your school, segregated for a long time.
Exactly.
But we always were able to bring in different cultures, and it shows that we aren't just a monolith. We are very diverse inside of
Right.
our schools with the thinking, but people from across the world. You coming from Colombia, South America, going to Columbia, South Carolina, then you have a roommate from Kenya and all these other places, and that's my commercial for HBCUs.
Right.
I went to HBC. I went to Morehouse in Atlanta, so very big proponent of HBCUs, and that's what we do here at the Avery as well. We push for all of our schools, but we have a very big heart for historically Black colleges, universities, and schools. So your tennis career, tell us a little bit more about that. How did you? Are you still playing? Did you say, all right, I'm gonna fall back and just focus on art?
So yeah, like basically stuff right after I graduated from college.
Mhm.
Of course, like I did hit the racket a couple of times whenever I can.
Mhm.
I would like to get a little bit more involved of it, I guess, but it would be just for fun this time. I
Mhm.
will have a different mentality, because when you are competing and you are in this, well, I want to be the best, and you're in this competing mindset, I kind of, at least for me, I forgot that it's fun too.
Mhm.
So it got frustrated at times, and I was like, I had put myself in this pressure, like I need to win, I need to get better, you need to practice more. So now I guess if I go back to it, it would be more like a fun thing to do. And I would
Mhm.
love to do that, because I spent so much time of my life just playing tennis.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's something I would like to do, but I'm not like really active right now.
Right, right, right. And it got you here.
Right, it
Right.
got me here.
Right, right, right.
It's really interesting how everything that happened in my life, like, when you hear everything happened for a reason,
Mhm.
everything that had happened in my life, I did right now. Looking back, it happened for a reason.
Right.
Maybe in the moment that I was going through it, I was like, I didn't understand. It was frustrating. But now that everything to this point and look back, I'm like, oh wow, like
Mhm.
I'm grateful for everything that happened to me so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, who are some of the professors or some of your inspirations for getting your art career started?
So in Benedict College, I had great professors.
Mhm.
They were really, I guess, they were always pushing me, because I was doing my own. I was putting my own. I was really passionate about it. When I found out that I could do some art, like I was making paintings and drawings, and I remember doing assignments. And as soon as I get out of class, just go to my dorm and start working on. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to do this, and they saw that on my dedication. And I'm still in contact with most of them.
Mhm.
And anytime that I need anything, they always there. So I'm really happy. Uh, I can name it all with that.
Right.
I have Miss Moore, I got Mr. Brown, I have Dr. Wiles, I have Mr. Jiro,
Mhm.
like Stanford, like they are still like really supportive of everything that I do. Anytime that I need something from them, they are there to help me. And I guess because also they see that I'm trying to push this. There is a lot of times that our career is not seen as something that is going to bring you money or something like that. And the fact that I'm still pushing, because I really believe that I have something with this. It's not just, of course, I have my craft and I paint, but I feel that I have a message that I want to communicate in any of my pieces. And they see that. So
Mhm.
anytime that I have, if I need something from them, they're always there to help me.
Right, right, right. Again, getting back to the HBCUs, it becomes a family.
Right.
My professor from Morehouse ended up becoming the godfather of my child, and they become our family, and they help us. And they're not just there to give us a grade; they're there to see us rise, and and hopefully we can bring somebody else up with us.
Right.
So, right, right, right. So let's actually get into some of your artwork. Let's talk about some of your early artwork. What with
All
your
right.
like first show, tell us some about the themes that you try to incorporate within.
Well, the first show that I would say that I have after leaving the school was this one called Queens. That's the one that I have in
Hmm.
Colombia in the Petronio in the event.
Hmm.
And basically, they were with the way how my paintings were displayed. I was trying to show how the struggle that the black woman, go through, made them queens and made them beautiful.
Hmm.
So at the end, there was a series of 9 paintings. It was really little, but they portraits of women, and my intention was make it as beautiful as I can. But if you see the painting, they will have some spaces where there is no paint or the color doesn't match, just to show like how those imperfect sections make that queen beautiful,
Mm.
and showing how those little imperfections are the struggles that you go on life, that everybody goes on life, but once you overcome it, it makes you like the queen that you are.
Mm.
So that was my first show. And after that show, I decided to create the one that I have right now. It's called IUS, United to Transform. And basically, what I wanted to communicate is like, once I moved from Colombia to the United States and I saw like the Afro descendant culture and the struggle that we were going through it, everybody, we all going through the same way, but I guess I feel that at least when I see Colombia, we are in a different stage. I feel that there is more awareness here, what's going on with, I would say, injustice.
Hmm.
Back home, we are aware, but we're still not that united to start pushing.
Hmm.
Um, so I decided to create this show that's called IU as United to Transform. And basically, I wanted to show how it is possible for us to create a life that we desire.
Mm.
So we have this idea that we need to go to graduate from high school, then you have to go to college. Then when you go to college, you have to, I don't know, find a job in your career, then get married, have a house, get a car. And if you fail or you go in a different direction in that idea that we have, we failing in life. And but it doesn't work like that, because not we are not the same.
Right.
So if for somebody works the fact that they went to school and they graduate, for another one it won't work, because like maybe school is not for them, and it's okay. So I basically just want to communicate, especially to our Black communities, that we can create whatever we want. Whatever idea of life that we want, we can make it happen.
Hmm.
But there is certain things that we need to keep in mind to make this happen. And so the show is in total of 9 pieces.
Hmm.
The first 2 pieces are called knowledge, and basically, for us to grow, we need to know. We need knowledge. So, and we get this knowledge by talking with other people. Maybe the experiences that that person went through is what you needed to hear for you to keep moving forward.
Hmm.
Or maybe just reading books. Whoever put that information in the book thought, okay, I need to share this information with somebody else, and then you get it. So knowledge, it would be like the first stage, so you can just keep moving forward. Then the other one would be support, because I believe that people think that being successful is like a limited place, like just a few people get there, and it's not like that. Or basically, if I help this person, I'm gonna stop myself from being successful, and that doesn't work neither. Like, we need to help each other. If I have somebody, if I got some information that I know that the person may need, I'm gonna share it, because at the end of the day, it will help him, it will help me, like we will grow together.
Hmm.
So that was the second one. The other section, the other 2 paintings are called Overcome. So, and it speaks about how there is always this time in your life where you face these situations that put you down. Like, I guess they keep putting in your brains ideas of you can't do this or you doing it wrong. But are, once you, and I feel that the best way to solve these issues when you are facing that is just being honest to yourself.
Mhm.
We are really scared of showing how we really are to the world. We want to put out there our perfect idea of how we are, like, oh, I'm a businesswoman, or I'm a man like that support his family or whatever. But sometimes things don't have to be how society
Right.
put it out there. And I feel that when we actually found each other, ourselves, then things start working for us. So those two pieces, I guess, are one of the most significant that I have, because everybody go through that struggle. There is a lot of times where I've been thinking like, why is this happening, or how can I move out of here? But then once you finally you accept how you are and say, okay, this is Bella. This is, people call me Bella.
Mhm.
So this is Bella. This is how I move. And whoever accepts me how it is, you need to be around me. And whoever doesn't, you don't need to be around. But that doesn't mean that if you're doing something wrong, you're going to look at yourself and say, okay, nah, this is not okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You need to be really self-aware of what do you want for yourself, and how honest you are about admitting when you are wrong and celebrating where you are right.
Mhm.
That way you're able to move to a next step. Um, with these ideas that we have of how beautiful we need to look, or how we need to talk with people, or like, for example, I'm a really, I guess, shy person. So at the beginning I was like, oh, I need to talk with people. I need to do this because artists need to move
Yeah, I
this
get
way.
that.
And those are just things that you block. It's blocking you actually
Mhm.
true self.
Mhm.
Once you're honest with that and you just move how you are, you get to this new place in your life.
Mhm.
And that's the representation, the other two pennies that I have that are power.
Mhm.
You already know yourself, so you look in life in a different way, and now you can move with power.
Mhm.
And the last piece that I have is go open your mind. And basically, it's like none of these things can happen until you actually see to yourself and open your mind when you see beyond what the society want to show you.
Mhm.
So that's
All right.
that's basically like a roundup of what all my shows,
Right.
all my collection work. Right now in this place, I have two pieces. I have four pieces with you. I
Mhm.
have support,
Mhm.
which um, if you see the paintings, they are looking at each other, and the men have like the woman hands on the shoulder. And it's basically
Yes.
just, it's okay if you are not okay. I'm here to help you. And the other two ones that I have is power, because if you see them, well, they 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 have no clothes, they naked, they're looking
Mhm.
forward, they feel empowered because they have overcome whatever situation they have been going through. So
Mhm.
basically, those are the four pieces that you have over here.
Right. Right. So your uh, when let's talk about your process of creating these pieces. Where did you have the theme first, or as you were going through it, you were like, all right, this is where I want to take it.
I had the theme first. I feel that that's why that's I guess every artist have their own process.
Mhm.
But for me, I need to have an idea of what I want to communicate. Okay,
Mhm.
I wanted to communicate that we can create the life that we want as long as we believe in ourselves and we honest to ourselves. And then I came out saying, okay, how can I show this to the public? And I divided in those four categories:
Mhm.
knowledge, support, knowledge, support, overcome,
Mhm.
power, and open your mind. So
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to show. So I always come up with a theme, the colors that I want to use so I can communicate that.
Mhm.
And then, of course, while I'm painting, new ways, new ideas be popping, because at least, I don't know, that's how it works.
Right.
So, and then I see if I can incorporate those new ideas to the painting, but trying to keep in the same concept. So everything just, so that I can communicate the whole
Right.
concept that I want.
Right. 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 And the subjects are those people that you know, or is that just what you comes to mind when you start thinking about these different pieces?
So I came up with ideas of what I want. Oh, I want an image of somebody doing this. So many times I find uh, the image or something like that. If I don't find them, then I had the best family ever, so I
Right.
put them to model. So three of my pieces are part of my two brothers and my mom. So like
Nice.
they be helping me to make my dreams come true, I guess.
I say.
Yeah.
I say. I say. And let's talk about the colors a little bit. as I said, this piece is my favorite, the one with the hand, or the support that we have over there. Let's talk about the different colors that you have within the things, particularly within the four that you have here.
It's a different colors.
Yeah,
So,
and what they represent. I'm sorry.
so for the ones that I have support, I decided to use, if you can see, it's a lot of purple on it. To me, as an artist, I like all the
Right.
colors,
Right.
but purple to me, I guess the way how I'm using it, it shows is like a struggle. It shows like, okay, look, I'm going through something. Yellow is more like a light,
Mm-hmm.
like uh, like a like a beam of light that say, okay, go this way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can see in this one, you can tell in his face that he's going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors are over here a little bit darker. But in
Mm-hmm.
this one over here, even that it's still darker because it's not, I feel that she don't have everything figured out, but she's here to support you.
Right.
So, but they got that yellow. So that's how I use colors at least on my composition.
Mm-hmm.
And power, if you see, there are more bright colors
Mm.
because you are already moving forward. This one have a little bit more, it's a little bit darker still, but because I feel that you will never figure out everything on life.
Right.
You know, I think when I was little, I was thinking, oh, this person is, I don't know, 30 years old. He probably already have his house, car, everything. He know how life works or whatever. And then I'm over here at 30, I'm still trying to figure out how life works. So, and I think, and little by little, you keep meeting people older than you, and they still trying to figure out. Not nobody have it figured out. It's just the way how you approach it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in those two paintings, you can see the colors are a little bit more brighter because they have a better idea of what's going on in their life. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I use colors, at least for me.
Right.
They put a mood to the paint.
Right. And how does your upbringing? How does your upbringing affect your art and how you represent people within your artwork, being Afro descendant? How do you see that coming through? Do you always want to represent that to show your culture or whatnot?
Yes, of course. I can only paint what I
Mm-hmm.
relate to,
Right.
and being Afro descendant is like is part of me. So it's
Mhm.
something I always gonna represent, and I'm always proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna feel, I don't know, every single space that I can with Black people. It's
Exactly.
just my thing. I don't know, like no offense to anybody, but it's just how I feel because that's the people that I can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that there is so much power, so much knowledge, so much stuff that we can share, that we possess. Like there's so much out there, and people just don't know it because they haven't acceptance of how they are. And that's something that I want to communicate in every single piece that I do.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see for the future? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's next?
So I'm doing a little bit of everything. I love painting, and of course I want to keep making art and showing my art. But also I'm interested in creating new spaces for Afro descendants to come together and show or their talent, not just with painting. I would like to do poetry. I like to do music, theater. So I'm actually going to school right now to try to, get some knowledge and see how else can I involve all of us and show to the world that we are the best, that we are the best. Yeah. I don't know if because I didn't say that.
Yeah, you good.
but that's basically what I want to do. Just want to put us out there. Want us to everybody. I want us and everybody else to realize the power that we have and how talented we are. There is no time. There is no reason to hate on each other. There is enough for all of us. We all can be happy living like the best of our lives if we actually understand that we can.
Right.
There is no need on hating. There is no need on I don't know, putting each other down. I don't know. There is enough for all of us.
Right.
And that's something that I want to be able to communicate and share. I want to be around that energy. I want to be around people that want to be improving themselves every day. That's basically what I want to share, what I want to be around it, and what I want to communicate.
Sure. Well, is there any question that you want to, or anything that you want to talk about that I didn't ask you about?
No, I think that's basically it.
Right.
Just keep living ourselves and just keep working and keep loving each other. Love yourself because you can't give your best to the people if you don't give your best to yourself first. So basically that's it.
Sure. We appreciate you for coming down. And thank you for coming down for the Avery Family Reunion and being our first artist talk. We will have you down again and
I would love
hopefully
to.
again and again and again and keep showing off the work that we have, that you have. Because as we say, welcome home at Avery. This is your space.
Thank you
No
so much.
matter what, this is your space. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we will be back with our next artist in a few weeks. Thank you, Bella. And we appreciate everything that you do, and your work is beautiful. So this show will also be up until October. So everybody get down and come see it. We hope all your professors get down here to come see
That'll
me
be
right
good.
down the street. So
We'll let
get,
them know.
yeah, get everybody down here. So thank you again, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. And
Mhm.
yes, I'm really happy to be here.
Ashe, we appreciate you. Peace.